Turning now to our nation's capital, President Trump is expected to sign new executive orders today to boost U.S. nuclear energy production.
So according to multiple reports, the White House will reportedly invoke the Cold War-era Defense Production Act to ease the regulatory process and get nuclear facilities built fast. The United States was the first developer of nuclear power and has the most nuclear power capacity. However, nuclear energy is growing the fastest in China. Last week, Energy Secretary Chris Wright told Congress that new energy sources are desperately needed for the development of artificial intelligence. At the same time, Democrats accuse the administration of making too many cuts to the Department of Energy and some points to safety concerns.
2 of the 5 worst commercial nuclear power incidents in our nation's history occurred in Ohio's nuclear north that I represent.
Well, the White House is expected to really push the private sector to do the heavy lifting here, with some support from the federal government when it comes to new nuclear power plants.
In the meantime, President Donald Trump threatening to slap a 50% tariff on goods from the European Union. In a social media post this morning, President said it's because trade negotiations with the EU are not progressing. President Trump called out what he described as trade barriers, unjustified lawsuits against U.S. companies, and more that have led to a massive trade deficit. President said he is recommending the 50% tariff go into effect June 1st. There was no immediate response from the European Commission.
And President Trump is threatening to impose a 25% tariff on iPhones if they're not made here in the United States. In a post on Truth Social, the president said he expects iPhones sold in the United States to be manufactured and built within the country. Now, this threat comes as Trump pushes for companies to bring back domestic manufacturing jobs. Reports say that Apple has been exploring shifting some iPhone production to places like India due to existing tariffs on Chinese goods.